Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 12, Chapter 5 War on the Horizon, Part 1. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the anime and manga series. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. After sending Gadra to the Empire, it was time for a little interrogation. The first person on my list wasn't Shinji or his friends, but Ramirez. I just couldn't ignore some of the things that had come out of her mouth. She had pulled pranks on me before, so I was pretty sure that she was hiding something else. What? I'm not hiding anything. Ramirez started to act very suspicious and fidgety. It was clear that she was hiding something. From now on, I won't give you any more cake. What do you want to know, Captain? Captain. Well, whatever. Adelman had a much better showing than I expected, all well and good there. That said, what's the deal with the others? I didn't think Albert could drive back Shinji and his friends all by himself. I didn't think that there would be a death dragon here either. These oddities aren't happening on other floors though, right? Albert wasn't just your average strong monster anymore. He had evolved from a death knight into a death paladin, ranked at Special A. He could take full advantage of his abilities. Before his evolution, he fought an even battle with Hakuro. Now, there's no telling how strong he is. Hasn't Albert been teaching the guy named Arnaud? This time, he decided to go test his strength again in the lower floors. Hold on. You see, after Arnaud and his men got scolded by Hinata last time, they went out and decided to try to challenge the dungeon again. This time, they managed to make it through the 70th floor because the demon Colossus was still under development. And then, those kids got their asses beaten again, of course. Gahahahaha. It was a sight to behold. That must have been very interesting, by the sound of it. Report. The battle log has been recorded. For real? You're awesome, Raphael-san. I'll watch the recording later, but for now, let's focus on Ramirez's explanation. So, how far did Arnaud and his men go? If I recall correctly, they were crushed the moment they encountered the next boss. It was funny to watch them cry and flee with their tails between their legs. Hey now, that's quite the sadistic streak you've got going there. Hold on, the next boss? Huh? Was the boss on the 80th floor really that strong? Eh? What do you mean? I mean, isn't Arnaud one of the 10 great saints that could even stand against an ex-demon lord like Clayman? On second thought, Adelman or Albert probably could have beaten an unawakened Clayman. Moreover, with that weird death dragon thing, who's to say they couldn't have defeated even an awakened Clayman? I was pretty sure we had Zegion as the 80th floor's guardian. Could this mean that he had metamorphosed inside his cocoon and emerged in his fully evolved, perfect form? I heard that Veldora had been training him, but that just didn't add up to me, either. I had no idea how he'd put the super dubious, Veldora-style killing arts to good use. I only allowed it because Veldora seemed to enjoy doing it, but I probably shouldn't have taken it so lightly. Way back, I had used my own cells to heal Zegion's wounds and repaired his exoskeleton with Magisteel. Maybe thanks to that, he could move at high speed and even summon his own subordinates. Hey, so how is Zegion nowadays? Just when I was about to further question the suspicious Ramirez, Veldora cut in. My disciple, Zegion, has undergone a complete metamorphosis. He's become an invincible warrior and inherited my techniques. Better yet, Arnaud and his friends weren't even worthy of facing my disciple. The boss of the 79th floor already took care of them all. It was starting to make sense. Arnaud and his friends were beaten by the 79th floor's boss, Apito the Queen Wasp. That's incredible. You should have told me. You knew that I was busy working. Hey, hear me out. It wasn't just me. It was Mentor who started talking about training or something, then went on to teach an insect. You idiot. Is this a betrayal? Because it's not fair that you're acting like it was none of your business, Mentor. Hey, I've been wondering just now, what did you mean by training Zegion? He is an insect, right? Could it be that Zegion's final evolution had granted him a humanoid form? Kukuku, so you have finally realized. I have known from the start that you didn't realize this. So I kept my mouth shut until now to keep things interesting. I began to look through the dungeon's recordings, and asked Raphael-san to show me an image of him. In the image, I could confirm Zegion's slender human form. That's it. It was just like that insectoid Xian beat in Lubelius, Razul. Zegion looked just like that absurdly strong Razul. He emanated the aura of a powerful individual. Apito had undergone a similar transformation. Her body had morphed into a figure resembling a beautiful female. I should have noticed this sooner when Hinata was mentoring her. I thought that they were just doing some mock battles, but it turns out that she was actually learning things from Hinata. It appeared that she had also been sparring with Zegion to learn even more advanced moves. So, Arnaud and his friends re-evaluated their skills, and since then, Albert has been beating them to a pulp every time. I heard they'd rebranded themselves as Holy Knights, but I didn't know their quality also changed, diminished, even? Of course Arnaud's team lost. And now, Arnaud and everyone in the Holy Knight Order were training under the guidance of Albert on a rotating schedule. So then, what about the other floors? At this point, I could tell the general situation. Adelman and Zegion weren't the only ones who underwent a crazy abnormal evolution. I was spot on. In the dungeon, there was a group of strong monsters called the Dungeon's Elite 10. If I were to assume, it was possible that they possessed combat skills on par with my executives. Listen up, I'll fill you in, Ramirez announced and gave me an update on the current forces inside the dungeon. Starting from the bottom. The 4 elemental dragons that Ramirez had carefully raised under Milam's instruction had successfully evolved into dragon lords. It was the result of their exposure to Veldora's eminence of massive amounts of magicules. The Fire Dragon Lord, Ice Dragon Lord, Wind Dragon Lord, and the Earth Dragon Lord. These were the 4 dragon lords. I could barely believe my eyes, but there they were, and that wasn't even the end. The Guardian of the 90th floor, 9 heads, Kumara. The Guardian of the 80th floor, Insect Kaiser, Zegion. The Boss of the 79th floor, Insect Queen, Apito. The Guardian of the 70th floor, Immortal King, Adelman. The Vanguard of the 70th floor, Death Paladin, Albert. As a bonus, there were 2 Guardians on the 50th floor, Gozer and Mezer. As for the last, 10th, member, it was Beretta, who was also the manager of said group. Nevertheless, I want this trouble, this honor to be passed on to someone else, murmured Beretta, glancing at trainee San and Ifrit, I mean Cherries. I have the important task of taking care of Ramirez-sama, me too, I am the only devoted servant of Veldora-sama, so I am already busy taking care of him. My heart sighed, these 2 really did take after that butler. Seems like you're having a hard time, Beretta. You understand, Rimuru-sama. First of all, who did the Elite 10 belong to? We ran the dungeon for our enjoyment and the profits. Without Ramirez, who built the Labyrinth, or Veldora, whose magicules filled the Labyrinth, it couldn't exist. So, now that raised the question who the Elite 10 should serve. Following the chain of command, that would be Ramirez. Oh, yeah, I met with all of them and asked what they want to do. Beretta would be with Ramirez, so no change there. Every Dragon Lord turned into Ramirez's subordinate. Moving on to the rest of the team, Kumara had become friends with the kids and was living happily here, so she was overly grateful. I caught wind of her saying that she would become my pet, disregarding the fact that I already had Ranga as one. Zegion and Apito admired me greatly, too, so they declared themselves my subordinates. Needless to say for Adelman, he definitely had a couple screws loose. It went so far that he even worshipped me as a god. Albert was under the influence of Adelman, meaning his loyalty fell back on me by proxy. Gozer and Mezer kinda worked in the Labyrinth, so they may as well be Ramirez's subordinates, but I heard that they declined to join Ramirez and requested to serve me. Wrong. Those children got their names from you, didn't they, Rimuru? They were happier with that than getting a paycheck. They told me they couldn't compromise it. Oh, that'd explain it. It was nice to hear that. I should treat Gozer and Mezer better next time I meet them. It was this occurrence that shocked me, but the fact that the Guardians were stronger now was good. Be that as it may, with the existence of the dungeon's Elite 10, no one needed to worry about the Imperial Army intruding and attacking us. However, I ordered them to hold back for the normal challengers. Otherwise, it would be impossible for these ordinary people to traverse the Labyrinth. The unfortunate thing was that they'd have to take on a labyrinth containing a number of Demon Lord-class monsters. The only floor that I wanted to be seriously guarded was the 100th floor, and I'd leave that to Veldora. As for the other levels, at least up to around the 80th floor, I hoped for the challengers to take their best shot and attack them. We made the dungeon with a lot of care, so I wanted them to see how cool it was. But all that would have to wait for peaceful times.